I was doing a mentoring session the other day with one of my clients, James, who gave me permission to use his name in this video. And we were working through the anxiety of trusting people. So I wrote out a whole description today of my fears of trust and how I come to a better place with that and what I would share and encourage other people. But obviously, before I share this, please make your own decisions. Just because I say it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be right for you. But this has helped me, and it's helped a lot of my clients with this anxiety of trusting people, building relationships, also trusting yourself. And this video was dedicated from my life experiences. This is my story. Many of my clients, James, many of you are feeling this. Many of you want help with this. Many of you are afraid to talk about it, which I understand as part of me doing my job as a teacher to help other people to overcome their anxieties, build confidence for men and women, and become a better person and live a better life and not live in fear and not let the opinions of other people or the past bullying or bullying that may be existing now in your life to stop you from, living your life and being happy and having a good mental health. So, hold on. Right, I may not title this on this video, but I wrote this down just to make a note. So, yeah, paranoid about trusting people because of being bullied and then suffering anxiety. So, my honest confession. I was afraid to say this out loud as a young boy and as an adult in case people reacted negatively towards me. I was afraid people would attack me, shout at me, bully me, and bring up my anxiety. I was also afraid of anger. I was afraid of other people's anger. I was frightened of my own anger. And I was afraid of how I would react if people attacked me. All these things did happen to me, and they did negatively affect me growing up. However, I was able to find the courage to conquer them on so many occasions. Standing up to bullying was something I was forced to do growing up as a young kid and even as a young adult. Being comfortable whilst feeling extremely uncomfortable was something that I had to learn to do. Before I share my story, let me give thanks to what I'm grateful for. What did my anxiety and my pain from the bullying give me later on in my life? It gave me the following, which I'm extremely grateful for. It gave me the confidence to do boxing at Fitzroy Lodge amateur boxing gym. It gave me the confidence to go on and give hundreds of public talks to help other people and also to, help and heal myself. It gave me the confidence to travel to different parts of the world, to make new friends, to mentor clients, to get mentors and put trust in mentors and to spend money. That was a fear of mine as well. And to grow as a person and continue growing. So there's some of the things that it gave me. There's many more, but I couldn't think of all of them on this list, but that's a lot of them. This was my childhood fear below. This is a full description of my anxiety and how it made me feel. So when people would attack me, either physically, verbally, psychologically, and all the above, the confrontation would trigger my anxiety. That would be followed by a dark depression. That would be then followed by extreme paranoia. That would also progress onto, unhealthy amounts of worry, and then it would finally arrive at severe loneliness. My fear and my anxiety of confrontation frightened me into bottling up this truth. Having a mental health breakdown in 2017 inspired me to share my testimony and to continue to share my story throughout all different stages of my life to help people, to motivate, and to help men and women who have got anxiety to build confidence, discipline, to find gratitude, to live their goals and dreams, or at the very least, which is amazing, to live each and every day in gratitude. So I've gone on to write here. This is how I felt growing up and as a young adult. I can't connect with most people because they're not kind and they're not easy to get along with. I don't trust people easily. because I can see and sense when people are not genuine. I always had this ability as a young boy to read people's true motives. I can tell the difference between someone who's kind and genuine as opposed to someone who's unkind and disingenuous. I just need to use my nan as an example of someone that I love, will always love, trust 100% because she was so genuine and so kind and so loving. I would also love to use my dear friend Nick, who is also kind-hearted and extremely genuine. It's obvious when someone's got a hidden agenda. I can feel it straight away when I meet them. Their words don't match the underlying feeling that I get from them when I talk to them. The more they try to hide, the more I can sense their disingenuine heart. My instincts and my intuition never lie. It's just a matter of whether I have the strength of character to act on them. It takes so much courage to follow your intuition. It's simple and it goes like this. I either get a good feeling from a person or a bad feeling. What they say is irrelevant because anyone can say all the right things, but in truth, where their heart is at won't lie. I was sensitive growing up as a kid. I got bullied a lot because of being sensitive. This made me paranoid about trusting people because of having both positive and negative experiences with people. I am very grateful to have had so many positive experiences with people growing up, because I'm aware that some people have only had negative experiences, or maybe that's what they've perceived with people, which must be really tough on people, extremely tough. As a Christian, it can be tough at times because I can easily feel guilty about not trusting people because I've got a lot of compassion towards other people. I've also got a contradicting voice and anxiety, a thought, a belief, which says that I shouldn't have trust issues with people because it's wrong and I'm wrong for feeling that way or negative. I don't like hurting people's feelings. It makes me feel terrible. I feel bad for them to see anybody sad and hurt. It never makes you feel good to see another person sad. It always affected me as a young boy and it still affects me as an adult. Empathy is a lovely thing, but it can hurt your heart to see others hurt. Being human isn't always easy, and building relationships can be extremely challenging depending on the season. I can take so many positives and negatives from this perspective and my experiences. Yeah, sorry about having to keep looking away from the cameras because I write this out and I'm reading it, and I think I said in my last video, I haven't yet developed the skill to write something, read it, memorize it, and then paraphrase it out, so that's why I keep looking away, right? Negative people make you appreciate positive people. Negative people make you look at yourself. Negative people bring up what's negative and positive in me. Negative people teach you how to have fair or strong personal boundaries. Negative people make me question my assumptions and my judgments. Positive people make me value good qualities in other people and good qualities in myself. How would I feel if I got treated badly by everyone? Well, the honest answer is I wouldn't feel good about it. However, balance is key, because if you trust everyone, that would be foolish. If you don't trust anybody, that too could also be foolish. If you harshly judge people, that's not correct. None of us are perfect. I'm certainly not, but I know I'm a good person with a kind heart, and I'm genuine despite all my anxieties and all my insecurities. I love helping people that want and appreciate my help. I also love people helping me when I request their help and they do it from a good place. It's lonely without people, but it's even more lonely being in the wrong relationships with the wrong people that you can't connect with because your values are different. Energetically, you're in different places, you're not in the same frequency, and it just doesn't work at this moment in time. Accepting who people are and where they're at does get easier over time with more life experience and more maturing. Maturity plays a key factor in all relationships and in everything that I'm reading, learning and teaching today. Appreciating where people are at, even if you find them difficult, is key to living a life of peace and gratitude. People can change, which is great. This gives hope to everyone, including me. However, I cannot be a people pleaser at the cost of becoming mentally unwell. Toxic relationships give you mental health problems. Healthy relationships give you good mental health. How I treat people is the most important thing. You can be kind to people and still say the word no. We all have to learn to love ourselves and respect other people. You can't force people to like you. It doesn't work in this way. Many have tried, many have failed, myself included. Many people lack the self-awareness to be able to recognize how the other person is feeling. Being too selfish clouds your ability to feel the other person's feelings. This comes from having low self-esteem and wanting to take too much from people as opposed to give. Kindness is giving and unkindness is taking. These are some of the characteristics in bullet points: discipline, self-control, emotional control, awareness, empathy, strength, love, honesty, open-heartedness. This is how you overcome your anxieties of trusting people, trusting yourself, living your dreams and living each day in gratitude. So I'll continue there. So that's a big part of my story growing up, and how I overcame my paranoid and my fears of trusting people is by facing that fear, facing the fear, facing the truth, coming to my own perspective and getting help. Now, the great thing about trust is you can choose who you put your trust in. So what I've learned, if I don't want to give my trust to someone because I don't trust them, I don't have to. I don't have to be unkind to them, and I don't have to be in a relationship with them. I can continue living my life and not go into a relationship or let that person in my life. Now, if I do trust someone and I want to put my trust in them, that's beautiful. I can do that. And also, I can work on trusting myself, which I do, certainly a lot more than I used to. Becoming a better person, my faith, common sense, learning from others, following my own heart, my own intuition and my own instincts and working at it. Trust is like anything, it's a relationship. You can improve it and build it. Also, another thing is, if I'm ever stuck, I can always go and ask someone that knows more than me and get their mentorship. Just because I'm a mentor doesn't mean I can't learn, and I've always been willing to do it at the drop of a hat. None of us are too good or too proud or better than anyone to learn, even teachers. So that's a lot of the things. Also, a big learning experience for me is many years at many stages of my life when I've had anxiety and anxiety attacks and worry about someone betraying my trust, I can handle it because I've been through it and handled it before. So I didn't realize how strong I was until I realized I had to, I had to go through that experience. So I'm sure a lot of you are going to get loads out of this, because it's true. It's not just my experience, it's many other people. And I know that every person who's got anxiety has got trust issues until they get to a better place. And I hope I can give hope to people. I'm in such a better place now. Number one is because I can talk about it with no shame or no fear. And I generally got more trust, and I choose who I put trust into. And I've met many people that they never broke my trust. They were honourable throughout my life. I named two there. I named my nan and my dear friend Nick, but there's been many other friends. Some I won't mention on here, doesn't feel appropriate or correct, but many people over the years, men and women that have been friends, many people, and that gives people hope. But at the end of the day, you've got to make your own decisions. So don't follow what I say if it doesn't line up with what your heart says, but find trust your own way. I found it, especially lately, I found it through faith and through my own efforts and having the courage to follow my judgments and not feel guilty. So there's a balance in everything. You can be kind, you can be loving, but you can say no to people because you've got to protect yourself. And equally important, we always kind of realize, I always realize, You've got to really be careful the way you're treating people, because that's the big value that I learned from growing up. Even just my instincts tell me that, my faith. Treat people how I want to be treated. It doesn't always work in the way, just because you treat someone nicely and kindly, they don't always treat you back the way that your good friend does, or your faith does, or your family, or your good friends, because people are suffering. So it's also having compassion, but getting the balance of not harming yourself and knowing when to say, I've got to exit. Wish that person well. It's their responsibility, it's not mine. We've all got to take responsibility to a large degree. That's a big part of my mentorship, helping people to help themselves. And when I got help, people helped me until I could help myself. So responsibility, maturity is so many things. I'm learning as I'm sharing this, reciting it, going over what I've learned, my experiences, my teaching. So a huge part of trust is the honest confession. Because for as long as you're scared to admit it, I said it to my client, he's so brave. I said, you're so brave just for saying out loud, I don't trust people. He said he trusts 2 people, which is brilliant. Some people might not trust anybody. I've been there, or 1 person. If you can trust 1 person, that's incredible. If you don't trust anyone, that's still incredible. There's hope. You'll figure out how to build trust. But ultimately, we cannot control other people. I can't control someone if they're going to betray me, but I can control myself, make sure how I conduct myself, and that kind of puts things correct. So I hope that helps. I will continue doing more videos on this, but yeah, living your dreams. At some point you've got to face these things if you want, and if you want in life, whatever you want to do. You want to go to university, you want to build a business, you want to put relationships right, you want to fix relationships, you want to have better relationships. At some point we can't avoid the truth, which is the fear of trust is a fear that all human beings have. Even humans that wouldn't, quote unquote, say they've got an anxiety or an anxiety disorder. So yeah, some of us have definitely got deeper trust issues than someone else. I definitely did. I think all my anxieties were at their most extreme, which is why I've probably had so much gratitude and growth in my life, which I'm grateful for, because of the suffering and because of coming from rock bottom and such an insecure place. I was able to build myself up and continue. That's my message of hope to anyone else who wants to do it. If you're really down in the dumps, and where do these things come from? They come from bullying. So of course, the most challenging thing for me and everyone, and I can't do it on my own alone, but you can do it as much as you can, is forgiveness. And everyone, again, that's a big topic, which another video over time. So I've found my own way of doing that through praying and living my best life, being successful, being grateful, finding the good in people, having good relationships, all gratitude. Gratitude enables you, or definitely has enabled me, to get past resentment and anger and hurt and paranoia and grow and be a better person and handle whatever comes back. Because you have to have humility and be humble, but you have to be strong. You have to be able to handle criticism and attacks, because they're going to come. It's part of life, but how you deal with it. And I've learned not to react in anger, because when people are doing that, they're not in a good place, believe me. They're not in a good place. And my faith teaches me to pray for them. That's not always easy for me. My character could easily let me down, but my faith won't. So, but you can still live a great life and move on. And I want to say this, my best relationships since 2017 have come from my old trust issues, because I've been able to say, look, really like you, I've got these, and the person, yeah, I've got them too, we've got on even better. We've built trust because we've both admitted that we struggle to trust, but that's not going to get in the way. Love sorts that out, and having that communication, that honest confession. So the honest confession and the communication can iron out the creases of all these complex, getting in your head, overthinking, and make it simple again. Because when I was younger, it's very simple, right? Don't trust that person, not going to trust them. Trust that person, going to give them, put my heart in that place, receive friendship. Very, very simple. But sometimes too much knowledge, and even for me with my learning and thinking, and too much of this stuff can make it more complicated than it actually is. Follow your heart. If your heart says trust them, go for it. If your heart says, oh, anxiety doesn't feel right, follow your heart, don't trust. That's about the best I can share right now. If you enjoyed this video, great. You can like it if you like. You can share it if you want to. Let me know in the box below. I really enjoyed making it. I appreciate the support, and I really appreciate the criticism. Speak to you soon. Have a great day. Bye.